Hello, Abnormal Family. Good to see y'all today. I hope you enjoy this drop, as this will be a 2-drop day before the beginning of the next month. This has been a really good month. No complaints, guys. God is good. God has given me a blessing. I got a blessing yesterday, and it was a huge blessing. Um, I will share it with y'all eventually, but it was a huge blessing. And also, I would like to thank everybody that's donating by mail. We've got a lot of stuff at our P.O. box, and we really appreciate that. Also, everybody, guys, that's donating, we're going to have a special show for you guys. It's going to be the second because we want to show our appreciation. And a lot of people have asked us not to send cards because of the price, but to just have one big show. So we're going to do it the second, coming up at 7 o'clock p.m. We're going to have dinner with you guys. Me and Sarah's going to cook a dinner, sit here, eat, visit with you guys. And thank you guys for all the donations and support you're showing for bringing Hunter home. It's making a huge difference. And the next drop on this will be at 8 o'clock tonight, Central Standard Time. So you get 2 videos today, guys. Make sure to smash the like on them and give us a comment. For several years, I lived in a rented house along the Haxton Way on the Lumi Reservation outside of Bellingham, Washington. Haxton Way runs east to west and ends near Lumi Point, close to the Lumi Island Ferry. My house was located a few feet off the road in the south side. Behind my house was about 100 yards of heavy, dense woods, and beyond that, Lumi Bay. My first Bigfoot experience took place on Tuesday, September 23rd of 2009. It was approximately 3:30 to 4 o'clock a.m. I was scheduled to take the 5:40 flight out of the Bellingham International Airport to SeaTac on a route to talk to a college I was giving the next day at Fort Lewis College in Durango, Colorado. It was pitch dark outside, a cold, crisp, beautiful, and most cloudless morning. I was carrying my travel bags out to my truck when I heard it, a loud, piercing cry that was so loud and clear it literally shattered the dark stillness of the early morning. It came from the woods behind my house. I estimated not much further than 50 yards away. The vocalization itself was one long, flowing sound that lasted perhaps 5 seconds, paused for perhaps another 2 or 3 seconds before repeating itself, identically, for a second time. The cry also served to wake up every dog seemingly within a 1-mile radius, who collectively filled the morning air with their own barks and howls. What was a few seconds earlier been complete silence suddenly turned into loud chaos. I immediately turned off my porch lights and, for perhaps the next 15 minutes, sat in the darkness hoping to hear the cry again. But whatever creature made those sounds remained quiet. After about 10 minutes, the last of the dogs had quieted down. All was again silent. I admit that the first thought that came to my mind upon hearing the scream was, that was a primate. The second thought that came to my mind was Bigfoot. It could be nothing else. The sound that I heard that morning could be best described as a long, drawn-out, howling cry. I was completely and totally unique. I couldn't compare it to any local animal or bird sound that I've ever heard. In time, I thought of every other possible creature it could have been, and immediately ruled out each. The nearest animal vocalization that I can compare it to, and indeed it was very close comparison, is that of the cries made by a howler monkey in the jungles of South America. Less than 1 week later, Bigfoot paid me a second visit. On the following Saturday, September 27th, I had gone pheasant hunting at nearby Lake Terrell. It had been a good day, and I returned home with 2 nice roosters. To the right of the driveway in front of my house is a small clearing where the septic tank was buried. There, at the edge of the woods and only 20 feet from the Haxton Road, I had a pine lodge set up to where I routinely cleaned my birds. I would then throw the remains, guts, and feathers into the woods where the raccoons, possums could carry them off. Upon returning from my hunt about noon, I went to the clearing to clean my birds. Had just finished the first when suddenly, yes, suddenly, all hell broke loose. In the woods less than 20 feet in front of me, the focal point of this chaos, was a rather large tree that began to swing violently from side to side. In terms of size, I would estimate that the trunk of this tree was perhaps 10 inches in diameter, and something was shaking it back and forth as if it were a sapling. Branches and leaves began falling to the ground from this tree and other smaller ones around it that were being pounded. Whatever had been shaking the tree stopped for a few moments, and I could hear the loud cracking of the wood as if someone was breaking branches over their knee or beating the ground with them. I jumped to my feet, knife in my hand, not knowing what would come out next, and fully expecting that something was about to explode out of the brush to attack me. Although all of this disruption was taking place less than 20 feet in front of me, I could see nothing due to the densely brush and all the foliage. Robin, my Labrador retriever, who had been lying on the ground next to me chewing on a pheasant wing, also had leaped to his feet. Although he never growled or made any sound, he stared intently into the woods and cautiously began to back up toward the house. For a few seconds, things quieted down. Then suddenly the tree began once again to be shaken violently from side to side. More limbs and leaves fell to the ground, and all of this accompanied by the sound of more breaking wood and brush. Deciding that discretion was the better part of valor, and that my small, skinny knife was certainly no match for whatever creature was in front of me, I gathered up my partially cleaned birds and began to hastily retreat to the house. Robin was already on the porch waiting for me to open the door. Interestingly, the animal itself made no sound, no vocalization of any type. I have no doubt that whatever this was, it probably smelt the game that I was cleaning. And this would be a Bigfoot encounter, I was sure of. Again, I would be at a loss to offer a better alternative theory, is because when I got to the house and I peered off of the porch to where I had been cleaning, that's when it happened. My first visual sighting of the elusive Sasquatch. I seen its cinnamon hair flowing through the trees as it moved methodically, slowly, as it creeped around to where I had thrown the guts and remaining parts of these birds. It was gathering them, holding them under its arm as it grabbed a piece after piece. It picked every bit of the scraps as I had thrown out there, and then it turned and it stuck its head to the air and it started to smell. It saw me. I could just tell it could smell me, and it stared at me. It took its hand, and I have no idea what it meant, but it slapped its hand just above its knee on its thigh so hard, it sounded like somebody had smashed a limb against a tree. And then it done it again, and then it turned and walked away. I don't know if this was to scare me, if it was saying thank you, if it was saying hi. I'm not sure, but I've never seen a creature do this. But the sound of him hitting his leg was so loud, so much force. It was amazing. I will never forget what I seen in the woods that day. The way he moved, the way he walked. He was so at home in the woods, and he walked away with his scraps in hand as if he was happy to have them. This was my first and only encounter with Sasquatch. I hope you enjoyed mine. Wow, that is amazing. You know, a lot of people have speculated that wood knocks may not be wood knocks. I've speculated that I think it may be vocal cords, but who knows really what it is right now? We really don't know. I mean, there's no proof of any of this. It's all basically theories and what we're working off of. But this is a very good encounter. I think the food, he smelt the food. It gathered it all up. Maybe it's going to take it back, feed it to its young, feed it to its clan. There's no telling. It may have took it all away and set it to creek and ate it, you know. There's no telling what it done with it, but it kind of sounds like he was, I don't know why he would slap his leg at you unless he was telling you to stay back. I'm not sure. What do you guys think he was doing? Thanks for listening, guys. I look forward to your comments as to what you think that meant, and we'll see you on the next one, guys. Keep your head on a swivel. Don't be something's dinner.